Hey guys, really excited about this next interview. This is a teammate of mine. This is Raymond Daniels, aka, oh, I should probably use this. We'll cut that out later or not. Raymond Daniels, aka The Real Deal, or also the Human Highlight Reel. And a little bit about him. Your record is
28-3.
28-3, and he is currently the number 10 ranked welterweight, right?
Yeah, sometimes wherever that rating comes from, if that's what they said, then that's what it is.
Yeah, that's off, I think it was Cage Potato. But just to give the people watching a little background, your upcoming fight is September 3rd against...
Kareem Gaji.
Got it, Kareem Gaji. And that is for Bellator Kickboxing. You are fighting for the title.
Yeah, fighting for the welterweight world title, so I'm pretty excited and stoked about that. So.
Yeah. Well, before we get into that, actually, I wanted to talk a little bit about you, just Raymond, and not even Raymond the fighter, but tell us about how you got started in fighting, and what path your life has taken from the starting of fighting till now.
Well, I got started in martial arts and in fighting when I was really young. My dad, I'm a second generation martial artist through my father. So he kind of got me in karate. I didn't really know why I was doing it. I didn't really even know I liked fighting. In fact, I used to not like fighting. He used to force me to fight all the time. And then as I became into my teen years, people started telling me I was good. I started enjoying it. Started having the opportunity to like travel the world and see different parts. And that's really why I got into it, because I found out that I could see the entire world by doing what by fighting. Then I became really good at it. Then I got into the full contact realm of it, and it's been one of my greatest blessings in life to be able to do what I love, and to be able to teach it to other people, and to be able to go out and display it in front of everybody.
Yeah, I haven't told you guys listening and watching, but I am here at your karate gym. And what's the name of that?
My karate school is called World Champion Karate. It's in the city of Orange, California. So.
Yeah, it's here in Orange County, and it's a big school. This is bigger than some of my gyms. And you have kids classes here?
Yeah, we have all age classes. We have from kids all the way up until adult classes. And so we have a pretty large facility. We have classes going on upstairs, downstairs, all at the same time. So we teach all ages.
Awesome, yeah. Actually, Colby was telling me that there is an after-school program that you're involved with. You tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, here we also have, in one of our other rooms, we have like what we call after-school program. So martial arts is one of the places that kind of I feel, honestly, as a kid, kind of saved me. I have brothers and best friends that were out getting in trouble, and we lived in the same exact household, and martial arts was the one thing that kind of saved me from getting in a lot of trouble as a kid. So we provide an after-school program, which is something for our students and our parents, where the kids can be in a productive place, learn some great life skills, and be in a good, safe environment so they don't get into that trouble.
That's awesome. And speaking of children, so you are a father yourself, right?
Yeah, that I am. Actually, I started really, really young. I was a kid having a kid, but that has absolutely been my greatest blessing I've had in my entire life. My son, his name is Raymond Daniels Jr. We call him Ray J. He's 20 years old. He just turned 20 years old last month. He's actually just joined the U.S. Marines. It's actually been an interesting fight week, honestly, going into it. He's got really sick of this over this last 2 weeks and stuff, so I spent most of my last week of fight camp at the hospital visiting him and stuff like that. But the doctors didn't know what was going on, but he's doing a lot better now, and so very fortunate, very blessed that he's healing up really well, and yeah, I miss him and love you, bud.
Oh, that is adorable. Well, I'm very, very happy that he's doing good. And as a fighter myself, if anyone who's ever done any kind of sport, you know that camp never goes ideal, and that there can be anything from physical situations or mental or emotional situations. But I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I feel like a fighter of your stature and your experience level wouldn't let that bother you.
No, not at all. Every fight camp, there's a different challenge, or life throws some type of different curveball at you. But that's part of being in the sport and being a professional, is being able to adapt and being able to manage your different parts of life. I feel like we all wear different hats. If you wear a hat that you're a parent, or you're a mentor, or you're a fighter, so you have to know when to bring those different emotions out and when to let them loose. So
Yeah, I agree, and I think that it's very. It's I guess ironic that you are fighting for a championship belt, because I think that the difference between a regular fighter and a champion is someone who has all these situations come up in life. It doesn't let them affect their fight in the cage or the ring.
yeah, definitely. I feel that sometimes if you let your emotions run wild, they can overtake it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Everything. So I try and keep everything in control, and plus just being there for somebody who's not feeling well and not in their best condition, and your job is to be that rock or that pillar for them. So that was what my goal was, to be there for him during his time of need.
That's awesome. I am gonna look at my questions real quick.
I got your back.
All right.
Teamwork makes it work.
I wanted to bring to their attention that you were a police officer for 7 years.
Yeah, I was a police officer in city of Long Beach for 7 years over in the LBC, old stomping grounds. It was a goal I had when I was really young. As you just said, I had a kid, so I had to get my stuff together really quickly in life, and a goal I had was to become a police officer. Just like running a martial arts school, I thought I'd be able to help a whole lot of people. Made some great friends and stuff like that. Over there, some lifelong friends and stuff like that, and worked for the city, and ended up retiring from it after the 7 years was up, just due to the fact he had some different life changes. As you know, life changes. Ray J lost his mother, which was my son. He lost his mom at a really young age. So being the person running into a building where people are shooting, risk versus reward wasn't really that enticing to me anymore. I rather had the opportunity to spend more time with my son and not put myself in a dangerous situation. I know people think that fighting is also a dangerous situation, but it's a controlled environment. It's two athletes going in there, and even though you're beating each other up, your intent is never to really hurt your partner or your opponent seriously or anything like that. It's just to break their will and to be victorious at that moment.
Oh yeah, I've never seen anybody bring a gun into the cage. So
Exactly. It's like that's why they search you. You notice the refs searching you when you come up in to make sure.
You think they're checking your nails, but they're actually checking for weapons. All right, cool. I just wanted to throw that in there because a lot of people look at fighters and they think that either we've done this from day one, we've never done anything else. A lot of people who don't know much about certain fighters, they don't know that this person's gone to college, or this person was in the police force for 7 years, and I think it's interesting. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, no problem.
A few things I wanted to ask about as well before we get into your fight. You are working on a new fighting system?
Yeah, I'm creating my own fighting system. It's called Evolution Fighting System. I'll be coming out a little bit later this year, so I'm super excited. Right now I'm doing the sports series, which is for where I come from, my original background of sport, karate, martial arts. So it's a combination, it's a system that teaches a person from a beginner that's never done it before all the way up until a black belt, so to speak, and beyond. And then I have a pro series that we're working on as well for professional fighters, for people like yourself or myself, or for I've had the great opportunity of working with some of the top athletes in the world, especially in the MMA world, like Raymond Daniels, GSP, Woodley. I've had the opportunity to work with all these different athletes, and even though they're as skilled and as great as they are, some of the concepts that I have for my fighting and my fighting style are really good for them and good and great for our athletes in general. So look for it soon. Evolution Fighting System, evolutionfightingsystem.com. You guys can check it out. I'm really excited about it. It's kind of like my gift back to martial arts, into the martial arts world.
Yeah. So would you consider it to be maybe what you think the best? Is it a collection of what you learned over the years and what you find to be the most effective, or how would you break it down?
It's a collection of the different styles and systems and things that I've learned over the years. What it is it's things that I've used. It teaches a fighter start of fighting, so to speak, without fighting, how to hit and not be hit. I always see a lot of fighters that are taking a lot of damage or putting themselves in bad situations, and sometimes I think it's because they don't understand or grasp the concepts of what it is that they're doing. So the system breaks it down gives them concepts, techniques, offensive, defensive techniques. So it's a unique style in itself to teach a fighter to be a cerebral fighter and to be able to think and not just go out there and be like a robot.
Yeah, I love that. I think, especially with mixed martial arts, back in the old days, which really wasn't that long ago, it was just kind of like go in there and slug it out, you know. And if you got brain damage, well, that's part of the sport, you know.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I think if someone was to watch the way you fight now, I think that they would be like, wow, I want to fight like him, as opposed to maybe like a Chris Lieben or something like that for the MMA fans, where you go in there and you're like, that guy is taking a lot of shots.
yeah, that's what everybody's always like, oh man, look at those guys, those are great wars. Like, I'll be in that war if I have to be in that type of war. However, that was a great fight, but I don't want to get hit that much. I like to go into my fight and come out looking the exact same.
That should always be the goal.
Fighting's like the holidays, always better to give than to receive.
That is an awesome quote. Cool. Well, I have a kind of a funny question. You touched on the fact that you had a child at a young age, and you are how old now?
Me, I'm 37. Keep it right there. I'm gonna go get cut up by my barber later on.
I got him before his haircut. Well, I have a question. I mean, a lot of people in the MMA world, I don't know if it's different for kickboxing, but they say like, oh, like 35, getting close to 40. If someone was to say that you were an old fighter, what would you say to them?
I'd say I'm kind of like a fine wine. I get better with time. I feel like I'm in my prime, honestly. They say possibly I'm an older fighter, but I'm yet faster and stronger than any fighter that's half my age or younger than I am. So I think it's all about how you use your tools. As you become a little bit older, you don't have to exert as much energy. You have a little more wisdom on your side. So I think that with time, you gain that wisdom and you learn to control and manage fights a lot better than when you were younger and you were just like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to punch and kick people.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm 30. I just turned 30 and I was like, dear Lord, I'm old.
30's the new 20. It's
Yeah,
the new 20.
is,
They made a song about it.
that is true. And I completely agree. The mindset that I have as a fighter used to be like, we're just gonna go in there, we're gonna be tough, and now it's like, you know, I want to look the same way after the fight as what I went in the fight.
Yeah, it's my motto. All
right, cool. I just wanted to throw that out there, not to throw you under the bus age-wise, but okay, I'm finally gonna start
business in the street.
I'm finally gonna start talking about your fight. This guy, his name is, one more time, Kareem Gaji. Okay, great. Two-time Bellator Kickboxing World Champion, 10-time ISKA champion in 3 different divisions. Besides that, what else do you know about him?
I know he has, I think, 2, almost 3 times the amount of fights I have. The man has at least 100 fights
12,
under.
112.
112, yeah, 112 fights under his belt, which is a lot of fights.
Yeah.
So that's awesome for him, but none of those fights were ever against me.
That's
so,
true.
That being said, you know, I know he's a really tough guy. Comes forward really hard. His strategy usually is to absorb a person's storm and kind of continue to press forward, try and get close, throw low leg kicks, which is pretty much everybody's strategy. So that's what I feel like he's going to kind of try and come out and do. He's a great champ. He's won the title, then he lost the title, then he won the title. So honestly, I feel he's just been holding it and keeping it warm for me.
Yeah, that's I feel the same way. Man, I'm really biased. I know I think interviewers aren't supposed to be biased, but I'm like, that's right. Yeah, you're going to get them.
Tell him.
I did watch a little bit. I watched a few of his highlights, and you know, my fight IQ isn't anywhere near yours or our coaches, but all I saw was a man who just stands in the pocket and bangs. Not saying he's not a great fighter, but I'm thinking, okay, he's fighting Raymond. Raymond is like a ninja. Like, Raymond is not going to stand in front of this guy and just throw punches, you know? And I was like, it made me feel even more confident about your fight, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I feel good. I always see a lot of people, and they're like hitting a heavy bag or hitting targets, and it's like boom, boom. And it's just like, yeah, that's great when you have a stationary target or a target that's not hitting you back. So I think it's always a little bit different when you actually have your opponent in front of you, and then people have only ever actually seen my style maybe on video. It's totally different, like when the techniques are actually flying at you.
When there's a kick right in your face.
Exactly. So I think it's always a little bit different to understand the distance. To hit a heavy bag really hard is great because you can get as close as you need to the heavy bag. But when you have a heavy bag that's mobile and that's going to stick you if you make a mistake, makes it a little bit different. So I'm excited. Like I said, I know he has a good style. Obviously, he wouldn't have the belt or the record that he has if he wasn't a good fighter. And I'm excited about the challenge because I always had a lot of doubters because of the style that I actually do fight. Not a lot of people agree or like it because it's not traditional. It's not the traditional style or the acceptable style. I move around a lot. I do all these spinny, twirly things. But it keeps me entertained. I have a lot of fun. And anybody that says they don't like the style, they probably don't go to the movies or ever get out of the house because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you something you'll see in the movie, and that's what I plan to do for this title fight too.
You are called the human highlight reel. So if anyone says they don't enjoy watching you fight, they are full of
full of shit. Yeah, we're gonna have beeps on it.
I'll bleep it in later. You talked about the unfortunate situation where Ray J got sick, and you were dealing with that. Besides that, has there been any abnormalities in this camp? Like good, bad, different. Just tell me a little bit about how this camp has gone in general.
The Ray J thing was kind of threw me for a loop because he's just finishing up his stint as being a full-time in the military and stuff like that. He just graduated and everything, so congratulations. But the camp itself has been great. My weight is on point. I've actually had my girl Colby cooking for me like religiously, so I'm actually in the best shape that I've ever been in. Some little things like my coach is leaving town and stuff like that, but I was like my man Tyler Wambos, he's obviously got so many different fighters, so he's traveling, and my boxing coach Ramon. But honestly, I do most of my training camps on my own. I figure if I don't want it bad enough, nobody else is going to want it for me.
Sorry about that. I took Tyler to Canada.
No. Thief.
Where could he have gone? I'm like, oh shit.
So but I always train myself. I feel it always it starts within me. So if I'm gonna get up and run, or I'm gonna get up and do bag wear or whatever, it's all about me and when I want to do it. So nobody else can push me to do this. So
thank you. Well, I really only have one more question. And it's pretty cheesy. It's like the question that all the interviewers always ask you, but it's like, you could be like, oh, obviously a lot, but I'll just ask it. So, winning a world title, what will that mean to you in any form, mentally, emotionally?
Winning the world title and what you do it means everything because that is what you work hard towards your entire life. Any league that I've ever competed in, I've risen to the top end because when I competed in that particular league, I wanted to be the best. And if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to make sure I do my best. Anything less than my best is self-sabotage, and I'm trying to set myself up for failure, and I would never set myself up for failure. So when I competed in sport karate, I became the #1 fighter in the world. When I competed in World Combat League with Chuck Norris, that league became the #1 team and fighter in the league in the world. When I was in Glory, I became the #1 fighter. Now I'm in Bellator, and I will become the world champion of Bellator. And so it is always my goal to be the best. My goal, I wear the GOAT on my leg. That's, for me, it stands for God over all things and greatest of all time.
That's great. Awesome. Well, you heard the fight prediction here, and I back him up. I think it's going to be nothing but a normal Raymond Daniels fight, which if you haven't watched is super entertaining. And every time I see him, I'm like, hey, it's a ninja. It's a real life ninja. Thank you for doing the interview. I want to give you one quick, however long to take to thank any sponsors or any coaches or whatever you want to thank, because I'm going to tell everybody where they can find you on social media also. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Where to find me on social media?
Yeah, social media.
Find me on social media, on Twitter or the gram. You can find me on RD_GOAT. Just like to give a shout out to one of my new sponsors, Brass Knuckles. They really supported me this entire this entire fight camp, so I wanted to make sure I gave a shout out to them. 97 Displays, they do a great job of helping me out here in my karate school. They make sure I still have students constantly coming in, new students coming in at all times, without me having to worry about it, being able to focus on training. I like to thank my lady, Kobe Northcutt, for cooking me all the meals and being patient with me even when I'm grumpy or when I don't have that quality time to spend with her. My coach, Tyler Wambo's Ramona Espada, and everybody that's out, my man Stephen Horst, who's my business partner, everybody that's helped me out with this camp, I greatly appreciate it. And then once again, a shout out to my son. I'm glad you're recovering from your illness and stuff like that, and I look forward to seeing him and bringing the belt home to him.
That is awesome. Thank you, Raymond. Once again, Raymond Daniels is fighting for the Bellator Kickboxing title September 23rd. I will be there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You know we're
After
carpooling
party,
up. I'll be there too. And it's in San Jose, California. So if you guys want to go, there's a code you can put in. That's
Daniels.
You can
all
buy
capitals.
Buy tickets. Come support him. I'll be there. Oh, I think all of Orange County is going to be there. So thank you for the interview, and well, good luck. I guess.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure.